put my head in the right place. It's a halo.
So we're back again. Sorry for the
hiatus.
Yeah, but it's been a crazy August, September, October for us, between trying to get horses bred, cur prep, shows, all of the things. It's just been a crazy end of the season for us. Rosie went to the cur. The cur was very difficult this year, at least the Ohio one was, but I think mainstream people found that the cur was a little bit more difficult this year than it has been in the past. She got a 75 on her IBOP, which is really good. 77 is a passing score, so she was only a couple points off. Really happy about that.
Did anyone get a 77?
Yes, the star, or the stallion that went star that Dan presented, got a 77.
Okay.
But
there was a 77.
There was 4 driving IBOPs, 1 riding IBOP at the Ohio Keuring, and only one of them got a passing IBOP score. So Rosie took reserve champion for the driving one. So we were pretty happy about that. She got 3rd preemie, got into the stud book, out of the full book, which is good. Not as good as we were hoping. We were hoping for star, but it is what it is. So she performed phenomenally. She looked great. So at the end of the day, I guess that's really all you can ask for. But yeah, it was a rough Keuring. There was a lot of people a lot more disappointed than I was. So there was about 55-ish horses presented, I think. 1 stallion went star, 1 2-year-old stallion went first preemie, 1 gelding went star, and 1 mare went star. So
that's out of about 55.
Yeah. So,
and no first preemie foals?
I don't believe there was a first preemie foal. Don't quote me on that one, but I'm 98% sure there wasn't a first preemie foal. I think the 2-year-old stud was the only first preemie given out. So, and no upgrades on the higher rated mares. You know, none of the Keuring mares went model. You know,
except for no, that wasn't at that Keuring.
That was at the New England Keuring. Liza did go model, which was super exciting. We don't have a lot of model mares this side of the pond, so that was very exciting for the United States Friesians, especially under these judges, because they were tough. But again, it's all for the betterment of the breed, so we can't hold grudges or be upset about it, because they're really trying to improve the breed that we all love so much. So we'll let Susan talk a little bit about her adventure.
I've got the answer to that. I went to the level 1. Yay! I got my certificate. I'm a big girl now. Went to the level 1 judging. I cannot tell enough people to do this. If you're thinking of doing it, there's only so many seats. Seriously, go do it. It is so fabulous. I can't wait to do the level 2. You got to do the level 1. You got to wait a year. I don't know why. And then you can go do the level 2 judging. Because if you were doing it in the Netherlands, you do your level 1, and then you'd be expected to do so much judging work with the horses. Then you take your level 2, you do another year's worth. So anyway, so I took my level 1.
And it's what, a 4-day course? 3-day
It's a 3-day course. I did it at Michelle Sumner's place in South Carolina. Thank you, Michelle. You're a fabulous hostess. Gorgeous facility. And Will Thiessen, the judge from the stud book, he gave it, and it was hugely, incredibly educational. You would do lecture in the morning, and then you would do hands-on in the afternoon.
So they'd bring out horses for demonstrations for you to judge in hand. Did you do IBOPs or no?
Yes.
So you did in hand, you did IBOPs, you did babies, you did mares, you did geldings, you did stallions, the whole gamut.
You looked at horses and you used your words. And there's this fabulous book. Don't buy the one I'm picking up for Kendra at the Stallion Show. You leave that one alone. But this is the book. This is the book. I've had it for 2 years and I've read it a couple times, but now not only is the knowledge from the book to my brain, it's all processed. And there's a reason why if people felt like things were a little rough, it's because they're moving this breed forward.
Which is a good thing.
It's fabulous. And if you think you have a sickled hock horse, you probably do, and they don't like it.
Yeah.
So they're looking for the long lines, strong back. You check your top lines.
Good connections.
Good connections.
Head to neck, all that stuff.
And when they walk, it is a beautiful walk. Yep. And you track up and you use your body. They're doing a fabulous job with this breed. And I must say, long lines, good connections, strong top line.
They really want the movement in the back end and the front end to match. You know, that was a
uphill.
Yeah, that was a big critique I heard at the Ohio Keuring. I don't know what some of you other folks have heard at your respective Keurings, but there was a lot of horses there that weren't as uphill in the front as the judges wanted to see. They were okay behind, but they just didn't have that big forward tracking movement in the front end. And it really knocked them down.
Lifting up and going.
Yeah.
And so Fauna has this wonderful program with the KFPS, and I sincerely encourage you to go to it. And if you're thinking, even if you don't have a clue and you want to buy a Friesian, if you can get a seat in this class, I really encourage you. The wealth of knowledge is fabulous. And Mr. Thiessen did such a great job teaching us. It was beautiful. And I guess if we were to say something for those going to the Keur, is to prepare for the Keur.
Yes, more so, I think, in past years, if you're trying to do Keur prep on your own and you're not quite sure what you're getting yourself into, find a resource to help you, whether it's put your horse in full training, a friend that knows what they're doing, a trainer that's willing to give you some pointers. Find a resource, find somebody who really knows what they're doing, because it's going to be, if the Keurings continue to move forward like this past years have and continue to, it's going to be rough for you guys that are trying to do it on your own.
And don't breed 10 years ago.
Right.
I learned that too.
Yeah, they're very much changing these horses into a sport breed, a dressage breed, a driving breed. You know, they don't want the big, heavy
downhill,
Baroque, more traditional, or what we think of traditional Friesians now.
10, 20 years ago.
They want 16 hands at a minimum, long legs,
Beautiful
yes.
necks. And they like a more up-headed neck without throwing away the top line.
Yeah. So like a lot of the Julius offspring you're seeing have that very nice upright neck, without being a swan neck. That's really what they're looking for.
And here's a page from the book. This is your hocks. Okay. We had a lot of problems with sickle hock.
Yeah, especially at the Ohio Keuring. There was a lot of sickled hock horses, whether owners or trainers knew it or not. I would say about 90% of the horses that were presented, our judge called them sickle hocked. Knock on wood, my mare wasn't one of them. So there's a win in my book. But
so when you're looking for this next next breeding season, you might want to go purchase this book from the KFPS and read it. But you also really, one of the things that was stressed was knowing your breeding values of your horses, your mares, and really taking a tough, hard look at who you really should be breeding to. And it's not the one with the most hair.
And it's not, and it may not be the most popular stallion either. They don't care about that. When they look at breedings, they're looking at how is this baby going to make the mom and the dad better.
Yeah, how to improve the breed.
You
Is
know,
it improvement on the mother and father? You did such a great job breeding.
Yeah.
And we all know you could breed to Pegasus and you end up with, something that's not.
Right.
But if you do your homework, and I will explain approved stallions. Okay, this is for the Friesian breeders who breed KFPS and fauna, not, something else.
Not your other registries.
Your other registries. The approved stallions, they're approved on offspring. But if they're stud book breeding stallions, there's the ones that are approved and the ones that have breeding license. And the young guys aren't fully approved yet because they haven't, of course, had their offspring occurring, the 4 years of having babies. And what is it, on the 5th year, they go and take a look at the babies and, see if the stallion is making a positive effect on the breed. And when you're picking, be sure not to worry about whether they're approved on offspring or not. Your foal will always be, if you've bred according to the rules, and it's a KFPS stallion that has the right to breed, nice Friesian name
with the number,
then you're all golden. And, I'm taking a risk breeding on a younger stallion. He's not fully approved on offspring yet. Well, you're also working with the stud book to put the breed up ahead and forward it and improve it.
Because if nobody takes the chance on those licensed stallions and breeds to them, they'll never get to the point where they're fully approved because they won't have the foals on the ground.
So, just for those who don't know, use your best judgment, and of course check the genetics for the hydrocephalus and the dwarfism, and do all your the less than 5% interbred in the first 5 generations,
and really look at your linear score charts and your performance scores, and really look at where your mare might be lacking, whether it's her legs aren't straight, or her back is weak, or her head to neck to wither connections aren't good. Really look at, as much as it is not fun to pick apart your mare and say, oh my goodness, all this stuff is wrong with her, really look at those points on her that need improvement and find a stallion that strengthens her weak spots. And vice versa. Your mare might be stronger in some areas than that stallion is. And, don't just look at your inbreeding coefficients. Don't just look at your potential scores. Really dig deep and compare those linear score charts. It's hard. It's a lot of work. But if you really want to breed for quality and for improving the breed, that's what you've got to pay attention to. And all of that stuff's online, like we've told you. You can, yes, you'll get a hard copy of your mare's linear score chart when she enters the stud book. But you can look at hers and his right on there and really, really pay attention to them, because that's what's gonna give you an overall picture of what your baby might be. It's not just gonna be, oh, this one's got a low inbreeding coefficient, or oh, this one has a projected score of 105 on its trot. You've really got to break it down deeper than that.
Right. So my advice is educate yourself as much as you can, And if you get a chance to do that, wonderful. Level 1, level 2, level 3, you gotta go, you know, I do it. And the IBOP score is not a dressage test.
No,
It's
not.
And-
Not saying that a dressage trainer can't teach the horse how to do the IBOP and ride the IBOP effectively, but it is not scored like a dressage test.
You are showing your horse as best as you can.
The judges aren't taking into account what you look like.
It's
all about presenting the horse
showing the best
to the best of its
gaits.
ability.
That's one of the things that Will did tell us was like if you go and you cur and your horse wasn't 110% showing itself its best, like at the walk and trot, yet when you went and did an IBOP, that horse was drop dead 7.5, 8. They're going to take the higher score.
And in all honesty, the IBOP is probably what saved my mare. Because she's not the cleanest connected mare. She's 17 hands. Officially, they sticked her at 1.72 meters, which is 17 hands. But she's not the cleanest put together horse as far as her head, neck. She's a little more angular than they like. But she rocked it out on her IBOP. You know, she loves to work, she loves to drive, and it really showed in her IBOT test. And the judge made a comment when they were doing their overview of horses that, you know, it was nice to see this horse, you know, in the IBOP. You know, she had a very respective score of 75. And I, honest to goodness, think that that's why that mare's in the stud book now. Because I think if we just presented in hand, she just doesn't have the wow factor in hand that they're looking for.
It's a wonderful breed, and I love how tough it is. It's knowing which direction the breed's going will help make good breeding decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all set. Are you all
Yeah.
set? Let us know what you want to.
Yeah, we figured we'd do a quick one now just because we haven't been on lately. I know we didn't get to do a curring one before cur season started like we wanted to, but stuff just got crazy. So, you know, maybe we can go in the next, you know, month or so, do a little bit more in-depth video of what cur is, what they're looking for in hand, what they're looking for in IBOP, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, if you have a topic for a video that you want to see, you know, whether it's breeding, whether it's conformation, whether it's more of what the judges are looking for, you know, all that kind of stuff, leave a comment, send us a message, let us know, because we're doing this for you guys. So
Yay!
so that's a quick update on our end from a very fall feeling night here in Maine.
Yes.
So let us know what you want to see next. If not, we're going to come up with the topic ourselves. So
It'll be how to design a costume for costume classes. Wouldn't that be fun?
I'm not very artsy-fartsy.
Oh, I know what you want to do. I'm not going to tell anybody.
So there's a lot of people that probably have better input on that than me. So
I did Lady Godiva once. It was a very inexpensive costume. Totally fabulous.
So on that note, we will leave you with a short version of Fun with Friesians, but we look forward to talking to you guys in a little bit. So have a good night, everybody. See you later.